I hope you guys had a good Christmas. It is the 26th and it is 3:45 in the morning. Just stopped at the store for some snacks. We are heading for Northern Pike today. That's the goal, Northern Pike. We got a full heritage trap set up. I kept my old heritage traps when I switched to jack traps, and I set those up for pike. We did bring one jack trap because there's also crappie in here, as well as bass and perch. So as you guys know, Northern Pike fishing can be slow. I want to throw one trap in. I got some smaller bait, see if we can get some action on some other stuff as well. We got about an hour ride. It is 30-mile-an-hour wind, and the feels like temperature is -6. So we are on foot again, unfortunately. I've been paying attention to this lake for the last couple days. Some people are saying maybe 4 inches, other people are saying 8 inches in front of their camp. So there's just too much of a spread there. Nobody's really actually said they went out with snowmobiles yet. So again, I've talked about this before. I'm not gonna risk safety. I'm not gonna risk losing gear. I'm going to play it safe. And hopefully this is the last weekend or last trip that I'm on foot, other than the ones that, like Moose said, I'm staying on a camp right on shore. So won't bring the snowmobile there, I don't think. But hopefully this is the last time we're walking out. I am kind of getting sick of it. Got a lot of money tied up in equipment and registrations and all that. I'd like to be able to use that stuff and stop being the mule. So packed light again, small shack, small sled, and minimal amount of gear. But we got snacks and we got bait, so let's get at it. Like I said, we got about an hour ride. It's probably going to be a little bit of a miserable setup, so I don't know how much filming I'll do. I'll probably just get out there and get the shack going and get ready for fishing. Hopefully we can get a big northern on the ice today. We'll see you guys out in the wind and cold in a little bit. Well guys, I should have just brought the snowmobile. There's a shoreline. That's where I just walked from. Still got about 200 yards to go. And I'm walking about 40 yards at a time before having to stop. But we'll get there. Alright guys, just past 6 o'clock. We got about 7 inches of ice. We got the first trap in. We're going to do 4 heritage traps with pike bait. Then we're going to do 1 jack trap, and we'll try to get some bass or crappie or something on that one, just in case the pike fishing's slow. So, I don't know how good you guys can see me, but I don't say this often while ice fishing, but I hope I don't get a flag for at least a half hour. That was a rough walk out. All my clothes are frozen. My beard's frozen. I'm out of breath. Just got all 5 traps in. Like I said, we're going for Northern Pike, but I threw 1 jack trap in just to see if we can get a bass or a crappie. I've seen some pretty nice crappie come out of here, and if the pike fishing's slow, maybe that trap will go off. I did bring a bunch of line, so I could change my leaders and hooks on the heritage and just go for bass and crappie if it gets real bad, but hopefully it won't get to that point. The camera's already freezing. The feels like temperature is -8 right now. The only good thing is the wind really hasn't been there. They said 30-mile-an-hour wind gust. It's a little breezy, but nothing like it was when I went to bed last night. We got jumbo shiners and we got mediums. Actually, we got extra large mediums. I didn't get the jumbo. But yeah, everything's in the shack now, and now we're just waiting. But like I said, I could use about 20 minutes. All right, so sun is up. No flags, obviously, so far. It's 6:53. I think we got here just before 5. It was a long walk out. I was using Onyx to get out here, which does a really good job, but when you're walking in the dark, you start drifting. and I think I probably walked a lot further than I need to because I just didn't go from point A to point B. So feels like temperature right now is -4. It's not horrible out. So I do have my Eskimo Legend jacket that I haven't put on yet. I have my Eskimo bibs, and then I actually have an Under Armour shirt, Sitka base layer, Sitka Fanatic hoodie, which I didn't want to spend the money on something like that, and I always said I never would, but man, am I glad I bought that. It's got the face shield you can pop up. And then I do have the Sitka heavy duty Long John base layer pants, and then I just throw some shorts on over that. So darn tough socks, boat up to my knees, and I have really been liking those, partnered with the muck boots. So feels like -4. Probably gonna grab my spoon and just go around, and I'm gonna have to maintain the holes today and keep those things broken open because it is cold. So we'll have to stay on it, wiggle our bait around a little bit, and hopefully we can get a big pike on the ice today. That'd be pretty cool. I haven't done a ton of pike fishing in my life. I'd like to get into it a little bit more, and I think getting a couple big ones would really push me to do that. So I'm gonna grab my gloves and my spoon, and we'll go get some stuff broken open here. First flag of the day, it's spinning. This is a pike trap. Not bad, but we're not skunked, baby. 21 inches. Just check the bait. You guys have heard me say it before. You gotta go wiggle your bait around. You can't just sit in the shack. We got 50-pound fluoro with a 4/0 hook, a black 4/0 hook. Typically I run red, but for 4/0 all I had at the house at the time was black. So I threw them on. So that's not the pig we quite want, but it's a good start. Same trap. The bait I put on this was kind of dead. It was just kind of kicking. So I didn't put the line up through the elastic like I normally do. So I'm kind of wondering if this bait maybe just kicked a little bit good enough to... Got my bait. So just hit and run, stole my bait, but that's kind of a good thing because I have some dead bait in there I've been saving. And I didn't want to put them on unless I was running out of bait or something. So that one I put on was barely just twitching. So he hit that one, and so I threw another dead one on. And if I can get rid of some of these dead ones first, that won't be the worst thing in the world. Again, this is a trap with no beads. Same one we caught that first one on. We'll hang out over here for a little bit, see if it comes back for a second. Spinning. Feels a lot like the last one, maybe a little smaller. It's a bass. Nice. There's a largemouth bass. Wasn't expecting that on this one. Billy bass. Billy bass. That was a decent sized bait. So it's 9:45. Just got that bass about 10 minutes ago. I'm gonna wait about 15 minutes. And then what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna take my auger and I'm gonna go drill holes next to all my holes and switch the trap into the new holes. Just because these are 8-inch and cold days like this, I've been keeping them cleaned out, but they're starting to freeze in a little bit and get some sharp edges. So I'm just gonna drill right next to the holes I already have and just plop the trap over. We're only in about 9 feet of water, so it's not like I'm pulling up 70 feet like if we were fishing for Lakers or something. And just put them in the new hole. So I'll do that in about 15 minutes. I got the buddy heater on low. I actually just shut it off. I don't try to keep it ridiculously hot for no reason. If I had the 20-pound tank, maybe I'd keep it warm enough to kind of melt all the ice and stuff all over me. And but where I only have the green tanks, and I already replaced them this morning. On low, you get maybe 8 hours or so with the big buddy. I know on high, you only get about 2.5 hours. So you never know what's going to happen. The wind could pick up. It could start getting really cold later. I could hook onto a big fish that might take 10 or 15 minutes to pull in, which would be cold on the hands. So I just want to save that for if that situation happens. So guess we're gonna have to eat, see if that'll get the fish moving. Chloe's favorite tuna fish. If I wanted to throw my Eskimo jacket on, I could probably be outside all day if put the wind at my back, but it's just bulky. So I'll come in here, turn the heater on for a little bit. Unfortunately, it's an hour walk back, so I'll have to start picking up at like 2:30. Be picked up by 3, and back to shore by 4 before it gets dark out. If I had the snowmobile, I could fish right till 3:45, throw everything in the sled and run back. Toast that tuna fish sandwich a little bit. A little frozen in the middle. So it's warmed up to 11, but the wind's picked up a little bit. Toasted tuna melt. Now hit the spot. I'm also saving my water. It's about half gone because I forgot to get another drink at the store. I got my coffee. I got some chips. And I was looking at beef jerky sticks, and I think I was just so can't wait to bring the snowmobile because then I can bring the stove and we can cook out on the ice. I got some Cape Cod kettle chips. You ever have one of these twist sideways and go up in between your teeth? You just felt that, didn't you? So I'm trying to think whether I want to come back out tomorrow or Sunday. And then I work Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, and I'm back off Thursday, and that will be New Year's Day, so we can fish just about anywhere after that. Paul and I are going to go for Lakers, where I caught my personal best last year, 5.5 pounder. I've only fished for Lakers for probably 2 years, ever in my life, maybe 3. So I'm hoping to beat that mark this year. And then the week after that, we're going to Moosehead. Fish for brookies and Lakers. Maybe I'll throw it on bottom for burbot. Salmon you cannot take out of the hole yet. You have to cut the line in the hole. So that kind of sucks, but that'll be a fun trip with a bunch of guys. Oh, got a flag on the one we just moved. I actually sounded this one and put it about a foot off bottom. Off sideways, but not spinning. Oh. It was going that way. Now it's going that way. I'd like to see it spin a little. Definitely don't think it's a bass where it's not spinning unless it just got the bait. This bait was pretty big. Dang it. See, this had the orange beads on it right here. Hopefully it's still hungry. I usually sit here for a little bit on a hit and run, just to see if it circles back around. not getting stuck. Well, that's 2 largemouth and 1 pike. And neither of the largemouth were caught on the trap I have set for bass. And crappie. That's how it goes, so. But I mean, I don't know. Got here at 5, got here at 6. Set up by 7:30, I think. I can't remember the times. But 3 fish. It's 11:18. So really I'll take about anything. But I'm still waiting for that one big pike. That one exciting pike I'd like to get on the ice. That first one was nice, don't get me wrong, 21 inch. But my biggest leaker was 26 inch. So, and that's my longest fish ever. So I want to beat 26 inch this year, whether it's a leaker or a pike. I want to beat 5.5 pounds. We're not going to do it with largemouth bass. But if that's all I can get, I'll take it. And I won't be too upset about it. Hoping this one's going to produce another pike for us. Oh, we actually got one spinning. Little. Not what we're looking for. Just enough to keep you up and moving and warm. Didn't want that one. Fish is a fish. It was another fish with teeth. Wrong fish with teeth. I'd rather catch the bass than that. The pike / pickerel trap again. That way, not spinning. Come on, take a run. What happened to you? Didn't look that beat up, to be honest. Probably another bass. We need to get another pike before we leave, I know that. 2 bass, a pike, and a pickerel. That means we went bass fishing. We didn't go bass fishing, we went pike fishing. Alright, so that was a hit and run. I checked all my traps after that. Just sat down and it's back up. I better not be walking over here for nothing. We got a little bit of spin. Oh, that feels like it's got a little bit more weight. Kind of like the bass, though. There you go. What's a pike? We're bass fishing, boys. I bet that still burns your legs. I water skied once and I got burnt out quick. We got a snowmobile going across over here. I should have brought mine. It doesn't look like I can barely see my truck sometimes, like the nose of it. It doesn't look like there's anybody else parked over there, but it's Friday. So I'm just kind of wondering, like, if I came back tomorrow with the snowmobile, if there'd be a lot more people. All right, hands of one. Let's rebait this, get it back in the water. Go bass fishing. All right, we are all picked up. I got the jet sled loaded. The area that we were cleaned up. No trash, any of that stuff. I think we caught 4 bass, 1 pike, 1 pickerel. I think that's the count. I'll see when we're editing here. Overall, pretty good day. The wind didn't blow like they said it was going to. It was definitely in the negatives this morning. Crappy walk out. It's about to be a crappy walk back. If I had my snowmobile, this would have been a lot more enjoyable. I probably would have stayed out longer. I actually thought about doing an overnight fishing Friday and Saturday, but obviously I definitely would have had to bring the snowmobile. I'm not sure how much they would like a vehicle parked overnight over there. Now that it's daylight, I'm going to try to get back and read the signs, and hopefully there's people over there with trailers right now. I can kind of see how they're parking. I just don't want anybody to get ticked off at me or park the wrong way so multiple people can't park. I don't want to be that guy, so I'm always courteous to that. Going to new places. There was nobody here this morning, obviously. But awesome day. Got some fish on the ice. Not all the pike that we were looking for, but at least we got something. Hope you guys liked it. Hope you hit that subscribe button. I had an awesome trip and now back, and I have to try to figure out if I'm going to go out again this weekend. And if we don't, we'll see you guys on New Year's Day, where we are going to go after Lakers with Paul, possibly Ariane, and possibly Chloe. So stay tuned and keep on fishing on.